Jungkook came downstairs while tying the watch on his hand, all ready for office, and then sat down on the dining table. Morning, Mom. He greeted his mom in his usual cold demeanor. His mom, who was busy arranging the plates, diverts her attention to him. Morning, dear. Have your breakfast. By the way, you are alone. Where is wine? I don't know. Didn't she come downstairs yet? No. She sighed when she realized something. Seems like this girl is still sleeping. Go fast, Jungkook. Wake her up. Okay, Mom. He said, then got up and made his way to upstairs. Jungkook in mind. This girl is unbelievable. Jungkook tiptoed to your bed on entering inside your room. There he found you in deep slumber. A small smile formed on his lips on seeing you sleeping cutely. He felt the urge to you and he didn't hold back himself. He went down to your level and then leaned to your face and pecked your forehead, but clears his throat when he realized what he did just now. Jungkook in mind. Have some control, man, he said while clenching his fist. Then he held the duvet which was covered over you and threw it in some corner of the room. With sudden breeze you felt cold, so you opened your eyes slightly to find out the blanket. But it was nowhere. Instead, you found Jungkook standing next to you while crossing his arms against his chest. What's with you early in the morning? You asked in a sleepy voice. Get up right now, or else you will have to walk to the college, he warned in cold voice. I wanna go with you, but please let me sleep 5 more minutes, you pleaded with puppy eyes. Wine, he said in a strict tone. Just look at the time first. You gazed at the watch and your eyes widened on seeing the time. You were literally late for college. You quickly climbed down the bed and ran into the bathroom. Jungkook chuckled at your cuteness. Silly girl, he said while watching you disappearing into the bathroom. Jungkook pulled the brakes in front of the college. You realized you have reached, so you started unbuckling the seatbelt. He was silently yet secretly observing your movements. I'll get going then, you said awkwardly while looking at him. Okay, take care. I'll pick you up in the noon. You nodded, then climbed down the car and ran inside the college. Jungkook took last glance of you and then started the engine and made his way to the office. This is Jungkook's daily routine, leaving you to your college on his way to office and then picking you up from the college after it ends. With graduation on the horizon, you needed a peaceful environment to focus on your studies and also a place near your college. So you live at your mother's best friend's place. She keeps you like her own daughter. She supports you in everything. She loves you equally as her son Jungkook. Jungkook is an enigmatic and reserved type of person. He does care for you and takes care of your little things, but doesn't show it. You couldn't help but feel drawn to him. His mysterious aura and captivating eyes intrigued you, igniting a spark within your heart. But Jungkook, though harboring feelings for you, was skilled at concealing his emotions, leaving you in a constant state of uncertainty. You were reading a book while walking back and forth in the living room. You were so engrossed in it that you didn't notice Jungkook's presence, who just came back from office and was admiring you. Suddenly you stumbled and lost balance, and your back hits on Jungkook's chest, who just saved you from falling. You didn't turn around to look for the one who saved you. You can naturally recognize him just by his mere touch. His hot breath was fanning over your neck. You closed your eyes as your heart was beating too fast. You got lost in the moment and slowly turned around to him. He found your cheeks turned red due to the close proximity. A satisfactory smile formed on his lips. He then tucked a strand of your hair behind your ear and started leaning in. You felt like your heart will come out any time if you didn't stop leaning. Suddenly, Jungkook realized his actions and pulled away from you while clearing his throat. Walk carefully, you silly girl, he said coldly without looking at you, making you frown. I was careful enough. You came in my way. Are you for real? I just saved you from falling. Do not forget I was going to fall because of you. Jungkook pulled you closer by your waist. Why though? Am I that attractive to you? You hit his chest before getting away from him. First, see your face in the mirror. Don't forget your rules over the face. In your dreams, Jungkook smirked. You know what? You actually are so silly. He clicked your forehead. I'm not. If you call me that one more time, I'll complain to auntie. Then do it. I'm not scared of her. By the way, where is she? Yes, I forgot to tell you she went to your hometown. Why? Don't know, something came up. Okay, seems like I have to make dinner today. Of course, after all, I can't cook. I know. What do you want to eat? He asked while removing his coat. Anything you make. He looked at you with look seriously, so you nodded cutely like kid. He chuckles, then handed you his suit and made his way towards the kitchen. You entered inside Jungkook's room and found him sitting on the bed, engrossed in his laptop doing his work. You approached him slowly and cleared your throat to gain his attention, but he didn't shifted his gaze from the screen. You twisted your brows. Coffee, Mr. John? Jungkook took a glance of you, then shifted his gaze back on the screen. Put it on the table, Park Bryant. You raised your brows before putting the coffee on the table. Ungrateful people. Don't even know to say thank you. You scoffed while crossing your arms against your chest. On hearing you, Jungkook looked up at you in amazement. You were looking other side. He instantly climbed down the bed and towered in front of you. Do you want me to say thank you for the coffee? He walked closer to you. Of course, you should have said it without me asking for it. Learn some manners. You said while walking backwards from him. Then, exactly in which way you want me to thank you? There is no more space left behind, so he cased you between his arms and the wall. Your breath hissed, you blinked nervously while trying to get away from him. Jungkook, you. Should I thank you by kissing you or why? You realize what he is going to say, so you instantly cuts him off. Jungkook, you showed him eyes, he chuckled. You know I can do that. After all, we are all alone today. Your eyes widened and your heart escaped a beat. You hit his chest and came out of his grip. You really are so pervert, Jungkook. I'll take revenge of this teasing. You said before running away outside the room. I will wait, baby girl, he replied while chuckling. You woke up from deep slumber as you felt your stomach groaning from hunger. You climbed down the bed and bent towards the kitchen. You checked inside the fridge. There was nothing to eat. You got tensed what to eat as you don't know how to cook and auntie is also not at home. After thinking a lot, you finally decided to ask Jungkook to cook something for you. You tiptoed to his bed and tapped his shoulder in order to wake him up. Jungkook stared. He slowly opened his eyes. What are you doing here, Ryan? He asked in sleepy voice. Jungkook, wake up now. What happened? He asked in sleepy voice. You pouted. I'm hungry. Jungkook shifted his gaze to see the time. Seriously? In the middle of the night? You nodded while pouting, which made him chuckle. The voice of his morning chuckles was soothing to your ears. Don't laugh at me. Make me something to eat. I'm really so hungry. You whined like a kid. Okay, okay, let's go, he said while climbing down the bed. Jungkook is cooking instant noodles for you, and you are admiring him while sitting on the counter. After some minutes, here you go, eat this, he said while giving you a bowl of noodles. You instantly took the bowl from his hands and started eating like you have not eaten for months. Slow down, girl. No one will snatch it from you. It's really tasty, Jungkook. Thank you for making this for me, you said while eating. A small smile formed on Jungkook's face. He was admiring you while eating like kids. Who will handle so many of your tantrums? He asked while folding his arms against his chest. Who? What do you mean? You asked while eating. I mean, who will do these things for you like cooking in the middle of the night? You. Who else? You will tolerate my tantrums, my mood swings, you will tolerate me, and my everything, you said nonchalantly, which caught him off guard. You gazed at him and found him staring you seriously yet nervously. Will you? You asked while blinking your eyes innocently. Jungkook ruffled your hairs before saying, Silly girl, you talk too much. Finish this soon and go to sleep. You have college tomorrow. Jungkook turned around and relieved a low sigh while cursing his chest to calm down his raced heartbeats. Jungkook in mind, did she just propose me or tease me? Here, take this. I have finished. He took the bowl from your hands. Now go to your room. He looked at you and found some food at the corner of your lips. Look at you. You're literally in college and you eat like kid. He cleaned the corner of your lips with his thumb. Your heart raced. You blinked nervously, then climbed down from the counter. Due to your short height, you stands on your tiptoes and gently pecked his cheek before saying, Thank you so much for cooking for me in the middle of the night. You quickly ran away from there, leaving shocked Jungkook, who is still processing what happened just now. He gently touched his cheek where you pecked just now to feel your lips. If you were going to kiss me, why not do so on the lips? Oh, my poor hurt you, he said while putting his palm on his chest. You both are silently having breakfast. Jungkook is checking something in his phone. Suddenly, the doorbell ringed. Your eyes glistened when you realized who will be on the door. You quickly got up and went to open the door. Keeping his phone down on the table, Jungkook too followed you. Auntie, I missed you so much, you said while hugging her. I missed you too, dear. She pats your head. Jungkook smiled internally when he saw you hugging her tightly like she will fade away somewhere if you will lose the grip. Vian let her breathe. You are literally choking her. You realized so you quickly broke the hug and giggled cutely. Hey, hey, sorry, auntie. I got excited. It's all right, dear. Jungkook took the bag from his mother's hands and hugs her. How are you, mom? You didn't even inform me before going. Sorry, dear, I was in hurry, but I told Van as she was at home at the time. She told me, Auntie, let's go have breakfast. We were having ours just now. Let's go. By the way, Van, did Jungkook took good care of you in my absence? You looked at Jungkook mischievously, who signed you to tell his mom that he took good care of you, but something mischievous was going on in your mind. No, auntie, he didn't. He scolded me a lot. He called me silly girl. And he even made me do all the chores. You said while pouting. Really? You nodded while pouting. Jungkook's eyes widened on seeing your fake acting. Mom, she is lying. Mrs. John held Jungkook's ears as he winced in pain. You giggled while looking at him. Didn't I already warn you to take good care of her? Mom, I did. She is lying. Mom, leave my ear. It's paining. You better not repeat this mistake again. She left his ear. Jungkook slightly rubbed his ear to ease the pain, while Daddy staring at you, who was teasing him by showing him tongue playfully. Mom, sometimes I wonder whether I'm your son or she is your dearest daughter. You both are my dearest kids. I don't think so, Mom. You have spoiled her too much. Jungkook mouthed, I hate you, while looking at you. So you mouthed back, I hate you too. Then you slowly approached him and reached to his ear to whisper, consequences of teasing me, you whispered slowly. Jungkook realized the revenge thing which you said last night. He instantly looked at you and raised his brows, then exhaled a long breath. You really are so cunning, Van. You nodded proudly. Do you think I'll stop teasing you? No, never. And now, I'll tease the hell out of you. Just wait and watch. You gulped nervously when you realized the meaning behind his dark words. As you know that he's the man of his words, so you wondered what he will do now. What are you two whispering? Come finish your breakfast. Coming, auntie, you said while glaring Jungkook. Coming, mom, he said while glaring you. Jungkook informed his mother about the party that his company is holding. She refused to go because of tiredness, so now Van and Jungkook are going to party for which she is getting ready and Jungkook is already waiting for her downstairs in the living room sitting with his mom. Jungkook was scrolling through his phone. Suddenly his mom signaled him to look in front towards the stairs. Look at our princess Jungkook. So Jungkook casually shifted his gaze from the screen to you, who was descending the stairs, and the moment his eyes fell on you, his heart raced, and his eyes widened. He stood up on his place. The dress is looking as if it was made for her only, he mumbled slowly. You're right, Jungkook. I hope she doesn't get anyone's evil eye, she said while admiring you. I hope so too, Mom, he again mumbled slowly. The light purple color complementing your skin tone, the design accentuating your curves, and with elegant makeup you put on, he could only stare at you, his breath hissing as you ambled towards him with a slight smile on your face, looking like an angel. You frowned when he did not say anything for a while. You clicked your fingers in front of him to make him come out of his haze. What? Am I looking so beautiful that you can't take your eyes off me? Beautiful, and you? Have you ever seen your face? You are looking dumb as always. You gasped and whined and started stomping your feet. See, auntie, he's always like this. You fake cried. Stop your drama and let's go. You have spent so much time getting ready anyway. He turned around and started going. Jungkook sighed, then lowly chuckled, shaking his head, unable to believe how breathtakingly beautiful you were looking. Mrs. Jeon giggled on seeing your cute little fight. She then patted your head. You know why, he's just teasing you. I know, auntie. You pouted, then hugged her before following Jungkook. As you and Jungkook entered the bustling business party, your heart raced with anxiety, as it was your first time attending such a high class event. Passing the flashing cameras and the intrusive questions from the paparazzi, you clung to Jungkook's arm. He pats your palm to comfort you. After a while, Jungkook is having chat with his business partners and you are getting bored. You lightly tapped his arm to gain his attention. I'm going to eat something. Okay, make sure not to get out of my sight. Okay. You showed him thumbs up before going away from him. You are sitting and having some sweets while watching Jungkook, who is engrossed in talking. You pouted as you felt insecure of the elegant businesswomen who are clinging to him. You got up on your place and went towards the drink section to get some juice. On the other side, Jungkook's phone rings. He excused himself to take the call. You took the juice and turned around only to find that Jungkook was not present where he was earlier. You roamed your eyes but didn't find him. You searched for a while thinking he might have went restroom. Whereas after attending the call, Jungkook has already left the party, completely forgetting about you. You found yourself in unfamiliar situation as it's been 1 hour and you didn't got glimpse of Jungkook anywhere in the whole crowd. You wonder where he must have went, leaving you all alone in the middle of the party. You felt bewildered and anxious and abandoned at the party. You tried to mask your disappointment and sadness. A girl in her 20s ran towards Jungkook and wrapped her arms around his neck tightly. Jungkook too smiled and hugged her back. I missed you, Cook. I missed you too. He broke the hug. Thank you for coming, Jungkook. Nodded, then took her luggage. Let's go now. You must be tired after a long journey. Yes. How did you like my surprise, Jungkook? It's good, but you could have informed me, he said while focusing on the road. I wanted to surprise Jungkook. By the way, Cook, why are you so dressed up? Jungkook looked at himself and suddenly realization hits him. He cursed under his breath. And suddenly he turned the car in swift motion. Kathy gasped as she holds his arm for support. What the are you doing, Jungkook? I messed up. He spatted the car. Slow down, Jungkook. What happened? I can't. I left Van alone in the middle of the party. She must be searching for me. What? Are you out of your mind? How could you leave her all alone? I know I messed up. I hope she is fine. He increased the speed. You could have told me she is with you. I would have myself went to your home. I don't know how it got slipped from my mind. Now don't get tensed, she'll be okay. Hope so. He raced the car. Jungkook pulled the brakes and came out of the car and ran inside the party hall, along with Kathy. His heart was beating at inhuman speed. If something happens to you, he will never be able to forgive himself. He eyed the whole crowd, and at last he found you sitting alone, your eyes reflecting mix of sadness, confusion, and disappointment. Jungkook, realizing his mistake, rushed to your side. In the moment, he realized how much you meant to him. He approached you and cupped your cheeks with urgency. You gasped due to the sudden touch, but you felt relief when you found Jungkook. Are you okay? He asked while checking you. For a moment, you felt relieved that now Jungkook was here in front of you, but the next moment, your heart ached when your eyes landed on the girl standing behind him. She is his childhood best friend. Van in mind, did he really left me alone in the middle of the party to meet his best friend? Do I mean nothing to him? Don't I matter to him at all? Yes, I think it's yes. He doesn't care about me at all. Jungkook got tensed when you were just blankly looking behind him and shaking your head in your own thoughts. He tapped your cheeks gently to bring you back to your senses. That's when you shifted your gaze to him, who was looking at you desperately yet worriedly. Are you okay, Van? She asked worriedly. Tell me, Van, are you alright? He asked again with worriedness written all over his face. I'm okay. I want to go home. You lowly spoke. Jungkook, who was waiting for you thousands of questions, got confused when you didn't even ask one. His heart ached on seeing your silent and blank face. He thought you will demand an explanation from him. But you didn't. You are just silent, as if you don't want to talk to him ever. With heavy heart, he nodded, then took off his coat and wrapped it around your shoulders, then wrapped his arm around your waist and started going outside the hall. Jungkook pulled the brakes in front of his house and looked at you through the mirror, who was already climbing down the car. He instantly got down the car and followed you. Vine, listen to me, please. You ignored him and continued walking. Vine, please, at least listen to me, he said while holding your wrist. His heart ached when you yanked your wrist away from his grasp. He looked at you, who was avoiding eye contact with him. Van, please. I'm tired. I want to take rest. You said in low voice while looking down, then left from there. Jungkook clenched his fist, cursing himself internally. The tension in the air was palpable. In that moment, a mixture of fear and defiance surged through him due to the physical and emotional distance growing between them. Kathy sensed the tension between them. She blamed herself for the growing tension. I'm sorry, Cook. Because of me, you have to go through. It's alright, Kathy. I'm the one at mistake here. Let's go. I'll show you guest room. You must be tired. She nodded, then followed Jungkook. Jungkook in mind. It's good that mom is sleeping. Otherwise, if she had seen her princess' sad face, she would have killed me. You are lying on the bed, staring at the ceiling while thinking about everything that happened today. Why are you even sad, Van? She is his childhood best friend, so obviously she is more important to him than you. In fact, who are you to him? Just a mere girl who is living in his house till she finishes her graduation. Van is so silly of you to think he has a special place for you in his heart. Finally, the tears streamed down your eyes, which you were holding back. Jungkook is getting restless. He is not able to sleep as his mind is filled with your thoughts. He just wants to explain you that he is really sorry for leaving you like that alone in the middle of the party. He is so ashamed of himself. How can he even forget about you and leave you alone between the bunch of unfamiliar faces? Jungkook came downstairs and sat on the dining table where Kathy and his mom were already chit-chatting. He roamed his eyes to search for you, but you were nowhere to be seen. Mom, where is Vine? She has already left. She told me she has important exam today, so she needs to reach earlier. Jungkook in mind. This girl is not even giving me a chance to explain. I know she is trying to avoid me, that's why she left early. Dear, it would have been better if you had stayed with us for 2 more days. No, Auntie, I have troubled you enough. No, no, it's not like that, dear. You can stay here as long as you want. Kathy nodded while smiling brightly. Then she approached Jungkook and hugged him. Hope you sort out things with her and confess to her soon. She whispered in his ear. How do you? I'm your friend, Jungkook. Don't underestimate me, she again whispered. Then they both giggled and broke the hug. Your heart sank as you watched from a distance. Jungkook stood with his arms wrapped around his best friend, their laughter filling the air. The scene was like a dagger to your heart. Tears welled up in your eyes as you tried to make sense of what you were witnessing. You wanted to confront him right there, but fear and insecurity held you back. Instead, wiping off your tears, you reached to them, your mind racing with a million questions. Mrs. John noticed your presence. Why, dear, how did you come back so soon? Jungkook was just coming to pick you up. Auntie, I was not feeling well, so I came earlier. You said lowly while looking at Jungkook, who was already looking at you. What happened? Are you okay, dear? She said while checking your forehead. Nothing, just a mere headache, Auntie. Don't worry. Okay, take some rest, dear. Why and take care of yourself, she said while hugging you. You lightly hugged her back before saying, You too, have a safe flight. She thanked you. You took a glance of Jungkook before going upstairs to your room. He sensed the sadness in your voice. He decided to talk and clear things with you as soon as he'd come back after dropping Kathy to airport. Jungkook entered your room slowly. He eyed the whole room, but you were not present. Some sounds were coming from bathroom, so he thought to wait for some time. After half an hour, you still didn't come out. He got tense, so he tried to knock. Van, are you okay there? You didn't reply, which increased his tension. Van, open the door, please. Are you okay? You still didn't reply. Van, I'm asking last time. If you'll not open, I will break the door. Suddenly, you opened the door. He sighed in relief, but his heart sank the moment his eyes landed on your face, which was pale due to crying. Before he could come close, you spoke. What do you want? Can't you leave me alone? You asked in cold tone. Jungkook ignored the coldness in your voice. The only thing which was concerning him right now was your tears, so he cupped your cheeks. Why were you crying, princess? He asked worriedly, but you yanked his hands away from your cheeks. Don't show me your fake care and leave me alone. Van, please, you know it's not fake. I'm genuinely worried for you. It breaks my heart to see tears in your eyes. Go away, I don't want to see you. His heart sank. Van, please, at least give me a chance to explain. I don't want to talk to you. There is nothing left to explain. You said with a straight face. So now you will neither see my face nor talk to me. You nodded with a straight face. He scoffed sadly and choked back something that welled up in his chest. He took few deep breaths and got himself together. You hate me that much? He asked with a lot of emotions to hear a no from you. Your eyes met with his red eyes, which were trying hard to hold back the pool of tears. If you will say yes, I promise I will never bother you again. Your silence was killing him gradually. You were not replying, you were just looking deep into his eyes, as if trying to find out why his eyes were showing mix of hurt and sadness. When Jungkook saw you not replying to him, he sensed your reply, so he clenched his eyes shut. Every few seconds, the pain renewed itself. He took few steps back from you while saying, I'm sorry for bothering you just now. I'll make sure not to do that from. Before he could complete his sentence, you smashed your lips on his. He closed his eyes to feel them and then slid his one hand around your waist and with the other one he cupped your cheek. He was pouring all his feelings and emotions into the kiss. After a while, you both pulled out from the and connected your foreheads. I can never hate you. The only thing that I have in my heart for you is immense love. A small smile curved his lips. I know that already, and just in case my accents to your idiocy didn't make it clear enough, then let me spell it out for you. I love you too, you silly girl. Am I clear enough to you? Will it help you to stop overthinking bullshits like you don't matter to me and all? You looked up at him in astonishment. Jungkook, how do you know I was thinking all this? He messed up your hairs. I know you better than you. If this is the case, then you would also know why I was crying just now. Because you were hurt seeing me hugging another girl. You guessed, like, how come he exactly knows it? Am I right? You nodded, slightly smiling. He cupped your cheeks. I'm all yours, Van. It was just a friendly hug, and moreover, she was giving me advice to confess to you sooner. She knows about us? Jungkook nodded, then started smothering you with kisses on your mouth, your cheeks, your neck, telling you over and over again that he loved you and how important you were to him. You laughed and clutched him. Every time he said it, the words filled you up. They wrapped themselves around you like a balm, strong arms, and made you feel safe and cherished, pushing out every doubt that you had. By the way, Jungkook, when did you fall in love with me? I fell in love with you when I first discovered that I could turn your cheeks red with just a word. Your cheeks flushed, and you could feel your heart beating so fast. Vine, I'm extremely sorry for leaving you like that all alone in the middle of the party. I know I did wrong and I'm ready to take any punishment you give me. Annie? He slightly nodded. Then marry me. His face glistened. Jesus, holy hell, you are trying to kill me with your boldness. Okay, I will marry you, Bhagwan. You chuckled and hid your face in his chest. He kissed your hairs and embraced you securely in his arms.